Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I'd like to talk about the secret of Korea's great economic growth and competitiveness. Do you know that Korea is the land of the morning calm? The Republic of Korea is a small country in East Asia, located on the southern half of the Korean peninsula. With an area of approximately 100,000 square kilometers in size, Korea is only the 108th biggest country in the world. And just 100 years ago, in 1910, Korea fell victim to Japanese annexation and colonial rule, which lasted for 35 years. Then, at the end of the Second World War, Korea was able to attain freedom from Japan. But in 1951, just 5 years later, the Korean War broke out between the North and the South, devastating the entire country. This war claimed the lives of over 5 million people, including civilians. 21 countries of the United Nations assisted South Korea in the fight. 16 out of 21 countries dispatched soldiers, and 5 countries provided medical aid. These UN forces suffered 137,000 casualties, with approximately 40,000 soldiers losing their lives. The war left Korea in a virtually unrecoverable state, with 45% of the country's infrastructure destroyed. Many nations believe that, unfortunately, Korea would never overcome this disastrous situation. 60 years have now passed since the Korean War. Now, as the only divided country in the world and still technically at war, how can Korea manage to survive and compete? Let me introduce the miraculous changes of Korea, a tiny country that used to be one of the poorest and most helpless in the world. This is the scene of days past at Gwanghwamun Square, located in the center of Seoul, the capital of Korea. Gwanghwamun has been an important cultural location since the times of the ancient kings of the Joseon dynasty. Here it is today. Korea has achieved dazzling economic growth and transformed itself into a modernized urban society. Despite this advancement, Korea's rich cultural heritage allows a coexistence of past, present, and future. Today, Korea is no longer a poor country that desperately needs to get economic aid from foreign countries. Per capita income grew by a staggering 300 times, and Korea went from ranking as the lowest in the world to having the 14th highest GDP. Korea is the only country to have officially transitioned from a financial receiver to a financial donor. Korea has hosted both the Summer Olympics and the World Cup, and will host the Winter Olympics in 2018. Many other successful sport and cultural events, including the Busan International Film Festival and Formula One racing, are successfully held every year. All of these things represent the miraculous and rapid accomplishments of Korea in such a short time, which have defined this tiny country at the end of East Asia. How did Korea do it? The amazing growth of Korea is based on the exponential growth of exports. In 1971, trade amounted to, at most, $1 billion. However, by 2011, it reached $1 trillion. What caused this? The answer lies among the following sources. The driving force of Korea's drastic economic growth is the coordination between hardware and software. To be precise, it is the result of the synergy between the hardware field, including the growth and exporting of ultra-modern items and components, and the software field, including highly qualified human resources based on highly developed education, along with active governmental support for the component industry. Let's look at these reasons more closely. First, the gradual modernization of exported items enabled Korean trade to grow rapidly. The main targets for exports during the 1960s were light industry goods such as wigs and clothing. Later, exports began transitioning into heavy industries such as shipbuilding, electronics, steel, and automobiles. Since the 1990s, the majority of exported items have been cutting-edge, high-technology products such as semiconductors, cell phones, display panels, and so on. Entering the 2000s, the technological skills of Korean corporations are highly respected in the international market. Our shipbuilding industry occupies first place in the world. The market share of our cutting-edge construction industry is at third place, and our steel manufacturing industry is in fifth. 40% of the world's lithium-ion battery market is commanded by Korean corporations. Secondly, another source of Korean economic growth is the development of the materials and components industry. The Korean component industry has seen exports increase by a yearly average of 15.6%, reaching $229 billion. Meanwhile, the trade balance of the component industry by revenue has increased by a yearly average of 45.3%, amounting to $77.9 billion. Also, by 2009, Korea had the sixth largest market share in the world. The increased exporting of high-value products generated an increase of profits for the component industry. Korea focused on high-value components for LCDs and broadcast and radio communication equipment. According to the most recent statistics, Korea's current main exports are based on cutting-edge IT materials and components manufactured mainly by companies such as Samsung, LG, and others. Semiconductors made up the largest portion of Korea's exports in 2010, followed by automobile components. The Korea auto industry supplies 80% of car components used in its domestic market. Thus, efficient manufacturing skills have led to a near independence from the need for imported parts. This capacity also allows the component industry to enhance its cost competitiveness and thus increase exports. The competitiveness of the Korean component industry in the IT field has already reached high levels. Korean corporations now supply 13% of the parts used in the iPhone, which enjoys sensational popularity all around the world. Furthermore, the established high-tech skills of the Korean component industry is becoming prominent in the field of eco-friendly future technology and IT. It has become the world's largest provider of laminated ceramic condensers, LED TVs, LED panels, and other cutting-edge products. Thirdly, Korea's economic growth is driven by our human resources, which are essential to ultra-modernization. Korea's education system raises a highly skilled and highly qualified workforce. The entrance rate to university is maintained at a yearly average of 80%, which is the highest in the world. Newsweek, the weekly American news magazine, reported in a recent internet cover story that the Korean education system ranks as the second best in the world. Also, according to data released by the OECD for 2011, the graduation rates for Korea students are 98% from high schools and 63% from colleges and universities, which are the highest ratios among OECD members. Additionally, Korea has a world-class scientific infrastructure. Korea achieved 5th place in the 2011 IMD International Competitiveness Contest for overall scientific infrastructure. Another factor contributing to Korea's rapid achievements in such a short time is the Korean government's policies that actively support industry. The Korean government is supporting many policies to propel Korea into the top 4 members in the components and materials industry by 2020. It has eagerly supported a variety of initiatives, including independence in core component manufacturing, expanding the global market share, enhancing innovation capacity, and fostering further industry independence. Now, I would like to take a moment to briefly introduce KIAT, which was established in May 2009 as a public institute under the Ministry of Knowledge Economy and promotes industrial support policies for the Korean government. KIAT plans and manages comprehensive Korean industrial policies, analyzing results and providing feedback that can be of benefit to the Korean government. Moreover, it connects researchers and policymakers among a variety of institutions, including universities, associations, industrial organizations, and foreign organizations. It disseminates comprehensive plans for technical development, transfers technologies, and performs purchasing, marketing, and commercialization. Finally, it attempts to consolidate global partnerships with foreign global companies and technical organizations through hosting GP consulting events like this one here today, and through encouraging international technology cooperation. KIAT is ready to help you succeed in your partnership with Korean enterprise. And as we've just seen, the country of Korea already holds the secrets to success. Firstly, Korea remains at the forefront of technology and can meet all the demands of global companies. Secondly, Korea's materials and components industry offers world-leading competitiveness in both quality and price. Thirdly, Korea has a highly educated and highly skilled workforce that has enjoyed the benefits of investment, innovation, and infrastructure. And lastly, the Korean government, via agencies such as KIAT and via initiatives such as the Global Partnership Program, is fully committed to the materials and components industry. Korea is a small country, and yet nobody in today's business world thinks of Korea as a small country. Not through geographic size, but through human and industrial potential. Korea has become one of the biggest countries in the world. And as your technical and business partner, that potential will continue to grow. Thank you.